Hi, welcome to another survival skills video. So today I'd like to talk about mob grinders. Well, it's not a mob grinder, it's a mob farm. There won't be any grinding. I just drop them and pick up their drops. I'm not trying to get XP off this farm. I just want lots of drops. So I built a flush farm, and I'll put the link to Nembon's video on simple flush farms in the description to this video. So this is based on the simple flush farm design that he shows in that tutorial. But I built this one down low in the world. It's in the first two subchunks. So I'm down here at about Y6, this drop tray right here, where they're all dancing on the magma. That's at Y6, I think. And then this first spawning platform right here is at Y9. So we're down really low, and the top platform is at about Y29. So I tried to keep it in the first couple of subchunks. And if you'd like to know a little bit more about, chunks and subchunks, let me know. I can do a video on that. But basically, this is pretty much as low as you can build a farm. And the reason that I built it down here was so that I get the best spawning probabilities. So I'm on a server. In single user mode, you don't really have to worry about this, but I'm on a server. And we share the mob cap. You can only have so many hostile mobs in the world at once. And I think the limit is 70. And when you're in a single player world, you have the whole mob cap to yourself. So you get results like this. You get crazy amounts of drops, no problem. But when you're on a server, you have to fight for every drop, because, well, not fight, but you have to compete with everybody else who's on the server for a share of that 70. So the reason that you want to build low in the world is because you have a better chance, a higher probability of spawning mobs in your farm compared to somebody who built their farm up higher. So that's the good thing about it. The design challenge is, since you're building low, you can't just kill them with a drop like you can in an overworld farm. So in an overworld farm, this bottom spawning platform here would be 30 blocks above the ground. And I'm sorry, this tray right here would be 30 blocks above the ground. And where you see the magma there could just be a hole with signs to hold back the water, and you'd flush the mobs off of there, and they would drop down 30 blocks onto soul sand that's sitting on top of hoppers, or they could drop onto any platform with a hopper minecart running under it, and they would die from the fall, and you would just pick up the drops. When you're low in the world like this, you have to be a little bit more creative. So what we have here is magma that's stuffed into a bunch of hopper minecarts. I don't know if you can see them down there under the water. And those hopper minecarts are sitting on a set of hoppers. This is, by the way, is a 3x3 area. So those minecarts are sitting on a set of hoppers, and then there's a hopper chain, if you can see through the glass here, that runs from those into, in this case, a dropper. So this could be chests, but I'm using a dropper because I want to send the items off over in that direction into a storage unit. So so that's one of the design challenges, and then the other thing that you have to do when you build low in the world like this is you have to go out at least 128 blocks in each direction. I've heard as high as 144, but I just went out 128 blocks in each direction around this farm and lit up every cave I could find. So it's a little bit more work, but you're going to get more out of the farm that way. So there's one other thing I'd like you to notice about this farm is these pieces of glass. If you look at Numbone's video, the farm that he shows you how to build is a simple flush farm and it doesn't have any filtering. But then he goes on to talk about how to filter out spiders. You can filter out other things like skeletons and zombies by putting trapdoors on the bottom of each of these killing platforms. So that leaves just a shorter space, a space for shorter mobs. Creepers are shorter than other mobs. So you can make this a creeper-only farm by putting trapdoors and then filtering out the spiders, and you pretty much get only creepers out of this farm. But I'm not going to worry about that because I'm going to put an item sorter over here. So I'll take all the drops, bones, arrows, everything. I'm going to float them over to here and then into a sorting system that I haven't built yet. I've just got chests stacked up right now, but that's going to be a sorting system, and it'll sort out the gunpowder from the bones and the arrows and store everything in a single location so I can get what I want without having to sort through everything else. So just to give you an idea, the farm's going pretty good right now. This is what I've just gotten in the last, I don't know, half an hour, 20 minutes. To give you an idea of what you can do long term, while I've been building this farm, I've had a couple of good sessions like this where I was alone on the server and was getting good drops, and this is what I've collected in the last couple of real days, probably, I don't know, maybe 10 Minecraft days. So bones, gunpowder, zombie flesh, arrows, and other drops like from the witches and stuff, and a little bit of spider silk. So I'm getting enough stuff that at some point I'm going to need to open a store on the server here because I'm just going to have way more stuff than I need. So I can on this server I can sell all of that stuff. I can open up a shop and get money and use the money to buy whatever I want to buy. Let's go up to the top of this farm and see how we set off these flesh platforms. So they're on a timer. So here we are at the top of the farm. These are all bottom slabs here, so nothing will spawn, either bottom slabs or glass up here. And look, a creeper followed me up. That's interesting. Either that or he came down there. I'm not sure how he could spawn up there though. Oh, maybe he tried to blow me up. That's funny. Maybe he spawned up there. So I've got a little bit of spawn proofing left to do. The idea is to do bottom slabs and glass, and I don't think I capped that off up there. He probably spawned up there and then dropped down and walked down the stairs. Either that or he followed me up. I don't see how he could follow me up the elevator because there's no place for him to spawn down there. So anyway, that was a little bit of a distraction, but the main thing I wanted to show you was this timer. So we've got a clock going here, and it's just a bunch of repeaters lined up, and they're all set for 4 ticks, and then they're looped at the other end, and they just run a signal around in a big loop. And each time they pass over this dropper, it causes the dropper to activate. And when the dropper activates, there's an observer underneath it that sees the hopper change states. The dropper change state. And what it does is it passes a redstone signal down the line. So so you can see it a little bit better, looking at this platform right here, what I'm pointing at right now is a dispenser, and underneath that dispenser is an observer. So that observer is watching that dispenser, and when that dispenser changes state, the observer sees it and sends a redstone signal down to the next dispenser, causing that dispenser to either flush or drain the water. When that dispenser changes state, that observer sees it and sends a redstone signal further down the line. So all the way from the top all the way down. It's just kind of a chain reaction. So that's how we're flushing the platforms and draining the platforms. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I left the face of this open so that you guys can see it, but I'm in the process of putting glass up the sides so that I don't have like the little chicken jockeys. I don't want them to float out onto the platform, and I don't want anything to drift out onto this platform. Things are not going to be able to spawn here because these are bottom slabs, but if they drift off of one of those platforms and land here, you know, I don't want them running around, especially if I'm AFK overnight and I'm not watching this farm. I don't want to die. So I'm going to finish that off now that I've done the video and completely surround this in glass. So then a question that always comes up for me when I see these farms is, you know, where to AFK. So in this case, for this farm, since I've lit up all the caves here, the best place for me to AFK is 24 to 30 blocks away from the farm. So I'm about 30 blocks from the center of the farm, or say 24 blocks, at least 24 blocks from the edge of the farm. So I can just stand right here and I should see some pretty good rates. And I chose this level to be roughly halfway up the farm. So I'm trying to get all the platforms from here. And I also like the view from here because I can see some of the mobs dropping, and I can also see the pit down there where they're being killed. So I put an AFK chest here. So when I do AFK, I'm going to toss all my stuff in there, including my armor, so that if something weird happens, I've starved to death AFKing before too. You shouldn't in a farm like this because you're not swinging your sword or anything, but I've had strange things happen. So I like to store my stuff before I do a serious AFK session. So I'd suggest that you do the same. And then I've just got a little brewing stand set up here to give me night vision. So you can just stand here and watch it rain mobs, and we're getting gunpowder and all the other goodies. So that's this farm, Low in the World, based on Nimbon's basic flush design, which I'll put a link to in the description of this video. I appreciate you watching. If you like this video, click the like button to let me know. And if you want to see something else, or you have questions about this, then leave me a comment. And if you'd like to be notified of future videos, click the subscribe button. So until next time, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.